Hi guys, I'm actually retaping this video on how I perceive personally how your words have effect and why I personally, because I do readings for people using my voice, treat my voice and the words that come out of my mouth in a sacred manner. Now, this is part of the Psychic 101 video series. Any, of course, opinions that I might have or associations that I may find that don't resonate with you, of course, just throw them in the trash because everybody has their own path and everybody has their own way to do things and understand things. And just because I say it doesn't mean it's gold. In fact, you should always be critical of somebody that says that their truth is actual fact, because everyone should be open to everybody else's way of doing things. So that being said, I am going to share my screen quick and find where exactly I was on here. All right. Trying. Okay. So here we go. So in my life, in general, I tell my kids all the time, like, we don't say certain words because words have a scientific effect. You can feel that in your body. I would not have to give you any kind of science for that to resonate with you because you know when, even when you're around like conflicts or people that are fighting or people that are arguing, you can feel that in your body and it results in a reaction. You don't need any psychic to tell you that, or probably even science. Like, that's just something you detect as a human being. So I am going to kind of go over how I feel about words and then give you some science behind it, why I take this, why I hold this so much to be true in my life. So if you're looking to be an intuitive, or if you are an intuitive, if you read for people, just something for you to consider on how your words might be important on a daily basis if you're using your words to do reads for other people. It's my opinion that it's a sacred tool of yours and it should be held to a higher standard than maybe the world as a whole uses it. And also think if the world as a whole used their voice as a sacred tool, as opposed to a weapon. That would be a beautiful world. I don't expect like non-reality. I'm just saying, maybe if I show you the facts behind something, next time you just nonchalantly will take what the words you say more seriously. So on an everyday basis, because I use my words as a tool, I hold the words that come out of my mouth very seriously on an everyday basis. I don't gossip about people. Well, one, just because I understand that, like, when you hear something about somebody that it didn't come from that direct person, like, who really knows what's going on? Plus, I would feel bad if I was saying something about somebody that I didn't hear directly from their mouth, because the chance of that just being like a one-sided story or untrue or whatever is high. So I wouldn't want to just participate in those kind of dynamics. Also, when every human has, Earth School is hard. Every human has conflicts and disagreements. But even when in my life, people have personally attacked me for whatever reason, I don't use my words to attack somebody. I might state fact, like if it's needed, like in a legal endeavor. But I don't use my words to hurt. And that's because my words are used. What I do is so important to me that like I said, I hold a sacred place with my words. When cursing, traditionally, historically, is called cursing for a reason. Because when you say something bad about somebody, there's an energetic response on the material plane with that curse. It sends negative energy literally to the person that you are saying something about. Now, I know that to be fact because I'm a nerd and like I look into the science of sound, and I've probably done like, oh, I've been into this for years, guys. Like, this is what I do in my free time. But also, I went to college for science. Like, I really have to have both, as I stated. So cursing is called cursing because somewhere they knew the energetic effect of it. The Hindus, I took a course on the Bhagavad Gita during the summer, and I found so much like science that the Hindus knew about so long ago that they had no like scientific fact or experiments to represent it. It's like they just knew these things. So I really find Hinduism valuable in my study of other religions. I try and read every religious text from every single religion because I like to resonate with all, you know, the main kind of streamline patterning it all, but especially in Hinduism and Buddhism, they have a lot of science that they knew thousands of years ago that we're just discovering now actually has form in the scientific realm. So words having effect. I believe, well, first of all, the Hindus knew, the Buddhists knew that sound takes form when it comes out. Hinduism, the Hindus use mantras that they chant, and to them it makes it changes things like on the material plane. It energetically takes form, and they've actually have I think they're called yamas. Let me see. I think I have that saved here. They actually make their mandalas, their geometric patterns that they use for meditation to represent the certain mantras that they say. And the thing is, it was found, yeah, they're yantras, and they represent the harmonic pattern and tone of the mantras that the Hindus say, which are the sacred sounds that they speak, like um, that like resonates with your heart frequency, and you can get a bunch of different singing bowls and everything that resonate with different parts of your energetic system. But somehow the Hindus knew what shapes these sounds made without having any kind of scientific experiment behind it, which is really interesting to me because we do have science behind the shape that not only sound takes now, but also emotions. So that kind of backs up my belief always that words have effect. You know, words have effect. You feel what it feels like to hear something from somebody, and you know how long it stays with you. So it actually is changing the cells in your body. Maybe you didn't know that it's actually changing the cell forms in your body. So besides the yantras that the Hindus knew about, this is ancient practices. And now we have Dr. Emotos water images of the experiments that he did concerning water. He's a Japanese scientist, and so you can go to his website. That's Masuru/Emoto. That's EMOTO.net. And you can look at all of his scientific research. And if you go to Google Scholar, which is just where you find all the scientific research on Google, you can also find thousands of studies that people have performed replicating this actual study that shows that emotions and words produce change in form in water. Now, what is the human body mostly made up of? It's made up of water. And they've done the exact same studies on cells in the body and how cells will be healthy or heal if given words of love and words of encouragement and words of joy and feelings of joy. Sometimes you don't, some of the experiments don't even contain actual words. It's just the emotions that you send to a jar of water. And if you go through this website, you'll look at all the patterning and words of joy and feelings of joy produce beautiful frozen snowflakes from the water, and words of pain or words of hate. I don't even like to say that word, not even on a video, because we don't use that word at my house. My kids know that we don't hate anything. They can say dislike very much. It's fine with me. But to even say that word feels like a sword through me. So we don't use that word, and there's science to back it up. You know, you could just look at the different images of how it's comparative. Also, he also has pictures on here of when a Buddhist monk offered a prayer. So offered a loving words and loving feelings towards an actual water in Japan. And it was really dirty and polluted. And it shows the difference in the actual crystal of the water, and how like the water was actually healed from prayers. So words have effect. The emotions you send out have effect. So to be someone that is concentrating on developing your intuition and resonating with a person and using your words to help somebody, because I assume if you're going to be an intuitive, or you want to be a psychic, or you are a psychic, you know that you want to serve people ultimately. Like no one, I don't think, would want to sign up to be a weirdo. There's a lot of hard situations that can come just because of other people's biases and them not really understanding who you are as a person. There's a lot of labels put on people. Like I've literally been called the devil by people I really love because they didn't understand. But I think your actions will speak louder than what you do. And after a while, I think people got used to seeing that, like, I'm not actually doing devilry. I am totally connected with God and love God, and probably maybe like commune with him more than the average American does on an everyday basis. So anyway, words have effect. There's science to back it up. Yeah, so I just think if you're somebody actually in the realm of using your words as a tool, if you want to keep that tool sacred, consider how you use your words on an everyday basis. Because things that you hold sacred are a sacrifice. Sacrifice literally means like to do something to hold it sacred. And I don't think it's too much to ask. And I think it'll help with your vibration as a whole. Everything's vibrations, everything's made of waves. And for you to consciously put your voice and how you use your voice aside to only help and heal and not hurt, knowing that when you use your words in an untruthful way to attack people, to gossip about people, that it has a physical cellular effect on them, might get you. I mean, I don't know how much you can be open to your intuition and to your guidance and to the angelic realm or the guide realm if you're only willing to do that work half the time. If you only say, hey, yeah, I'm going to be this totally great person now, but in real life, I'm going to knowingly still hurt people and kind of be like a normal human. I just think it really, the more steps you can take in your life to say, yes, I'm living a life of service, and I take this very seriously, and I'm going to hold myself to a higher standard because I do serve other people. I can only think that that would be for the best. So also, if you're by a body of water, please speak kindly to it, because all of our waters need as much love and care as we could possibly give it right now. And you can go over, and this also shows just the power of prayer and wishing well and sending loving energy to people that you don't even know. Like, I do this all the time to my family. They don't even know I'm doing it. You know, and it has effect. It doesn't only have effect right close up. It has effect. Waves don't have like, it's not like you have to throw your good intentions. It doesn't really have to conform to the space time module, which is why it's very easy for people that go into that wave realm more than the molecule realm to just pick the messages kind of out of nowhere. But that's another video. I think I had more on here. I feel like I'm just like totally just talking nonsense, like you guys aren't going to understand me, but you guys are super smart, so I assume you will. So only not only do words have effect, emotions have effect. So if you're deeply intuitive, most likely you pick up emotions from the places around you. Like, it's really hard for me. Like, I just don't like it to go to like a really open place like a mall or anything like that. And before I go there, I like really like mentally prepare myself. I am an introvert, but I do fine with people, but that's like a lot of energy. And if like it's a particularly stressful time, like holidays or something, I'm like, I can really feel that. And I probably just need better boundaries. But know that if you're drawn to being an intuitive, most likely you're just already an intuitive, and that's kind of your job, and that's why you're drawn that way. But know that it's harder to be around other people for a reason, because, you know, you're sensitive to start off with. And these things literally have, the emotions of other people literally take effect on your physical body. It's like being in a room with somebody who's in a bad mood, and then like you get in a bad mood. Like, that's happened to everybody. Or being around someone that's really excited or and happy when you're, you know, kind of in a blah mood, and then that lifting you up. It's the same thing. That literally has effect on our bodies. And I'm trying to get up here and do this little stuff. I don't know why this stuff's in the way. I can't move it. Like, I'm not very smart when it comes to like tech. I'll just get rid of that. Maybe I'll make this smaller. Oh, that didn't work either. Okay. So anyway, I think there was studies that I had pulled up on the actual. Okay. Excuse me. So this is actually sound waves and words that we use for speech actually have correspondence to different musical tones too. So you could literally go and make a mandala yourself, or a yantra of certain words that you want to have around your house. Like, you could go in there and look at you know, say love. If you wanted love up in your house, you could go in and find all the different there's different sound plates, and you could put those together to your own art. You could probably go to the new AI app that they have and just ask them to make you a mandala of it. I think it's AIFTP, the new chat app or whatever. Be like, oh, make me a mandala, a visual mandala of the word love, and they'll probably bring it up. Fact check them. I don't know if they're accurate or whatever, but yeah. So you could have these visual representations of sounds or power words or energies that you want to bring into your household, like a sacred geometry, and actually put those up in your house, and they work. I have sacred geometry all around my house, especially where I do readings for people, because I use them to ground, and I use them to change my energy. And I've meditated on them a lot, by just gazing at them, because I know that something in me understands that language, even if I don't mentally understand it. And you can really feel the difference from doing something like that. And also playing music is its own kind of meditation, because that sound, everything is sound and light waves. And just know that if you're saying a harsh speech to somebody or speaking ill of somebody, it's like sending laser beams through the universe. So that is why I take my words very seriously, because I use my words in a sacred manner. My words every day have to be used in a sacred manner. It brings up to me my favorite VeggieTales cartoon. So I don't know if you guys watch VeggieTales. It's like this cute little Christian cartoon with like Bob the tomato and Larry the cucumber. And my favorite cartoon out of that is, I think it's not one of the main characters. It's a different character, but they're wearing this backpack and they're like trugging up this hill, and they're going up the hill, and like, I don't know, in his hometown or something, like everybody told him like he was like whatever, too short or too slow or too, and then they draw these pictures, drawing pictures with the words and putting them in his backpack. And then his backpack got so heavy, just like we get so heavy when people don't speak kindly to us, or we don't speak kindly to ourselves. And it's just really like loading him down. But then he's going to the top of this hill, and he gets to the top of the hill, and it's God's hill. And I'm getting like truth chills all over the place. And God's like, why you got that heavy backpack on? And he's like, well, this is what, like, I don't know, this is what I am. And God's like, take all that. I hope God burned it in the backyard. I don't know. And he's like, take all that off. Like, this is how I see you. And God drew this amazing picture of this little guy. If you know what character this is, it's kind of bothering me, so put it in the comment section. And he drew this amazing picture, like Superman, of this little guy, like, you know, what God put him on the earth to intend him to be. And then he's like, this is you. And I'm still getting truth chills. And the guy's like, what? I'm so happy. That's who I am. And like, you could just see the guy like grow physically, like stand up straighter. And God's like, and then I'm going to put it on my fridge. I just love that cartoon. But that's literally how we are. We talk down to ourselves. It changes our body chemistry. It changes our cell health. Our cells start to literally die when we're around a negative environment, when we have negative speech, when we put out negative speech. I believe that, you know, karma is cause and effect. I believe that comes back to us somehow. I believe that then we're open to that kind of attack as well. Now, if you only use your words in a manner that is sacred, when you hear other people say things about you, it's going to be a lot easier to take, because you've grown your integrity and the sacred nature of yourself, and you know who you are, and it's like you're almost divinely protected from that kind of stuff. That's how I feel anyway. It's just my opinion. It's backed by science. When people have a depression as well, words can mean so much, which is why I think it's important for us to talk about mental health. I think it's a time, especially with Pluto going into Aquarius upcoming, that instead of depending upon these big structures that we all have kind of learned to depend on, like we really have to be there for each other, like the people in our groups, we need to personally be there for. And if we all do a little bit, it's going to make a huge change. Is even if it's just words, even if it's just you saying I understand, or even if it's just you not engaging in all of the stuff, um you're allowed to have a different opinion than other people, clearly, but it doesn't mean that you have to verbally attack somebody because they have a different opinion. I have lots of friends that have totally different opinions than me. Um, and I don't have a problem with it. In fact, I'm open to listening, as long as they're not screaming and super upset about everyone's point of view. And in fact, I'm just not political anymore. It doesn't mean I don't care, but believe me, even if you're non-political, you get just as attacked as being on either side. I think the world's just frustrated right now. So just hold space for that. But also when you're using your words, and you plan on intending to use your words, um, to be a servicer in this way, just consider how words have effect on an everyday basis, and how, if that's your tool, you might want to hold it to a higher standard as well. So I love y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.